My name is Brett King. I am a designer and a helmet painter in the motorsports industry. I think I was around 15 years old, and I painted my very first helmet. The whole reason that I did it was just because, I raced motocross at the time, and I just wanted to have one so bad because I was really into art. I mean, let's be honest, it wasn't that good, but it was cool. And a lot of people, my friends and stuff, they kind of started to want me to do their helmets too. When I first moved down here to California from Canada, I was offered a job to help start a company, and that company is called Felt Bicycles. And I was the third employee hired in there. Honestly, they hired me in, and I knew nothing about computers. Production designing was something that I knew nothing about. My boss at the time, he could see that I had that raw natural talent that just needed to be cultivated. So I appreciate that immensely because it really helped me to become who I am today. I broke my leg really bad in 2010. I couldn't race bikes anymore, which honestly really sucked. But I always wanted to get into shifter kart racing, and so I went and bought a Rotax kart actually at that time. Again, I needed a helmet painted, and I just said, screw it, I'm just going to do it myself. And that's what my original white Arai helmet was. And when I first went to the track with that helmet, a couple of people were just blown away with the helmet, and they were like, you need to start a business, you need to do this. It was a little bit of motivation for me to get this place off the ground and do it. I want people to get what they want. That was one thing where when I painted back in the day before, I didn't really understand art from a production end, and I had a really hard time with that when we first started Felt, because I was used to just doing whatever I wanted on people's helmets, them getting it and them being super excited about it. So going from that to being a production designer and having them go, no, that's not going to work, and learning, about society and demographics and what people like and don't like, that kind of seasoned me to do what I do now and kind of look at every job that I design more subjectively instead of personally. And while, I think that I need to interject my style and it needs to be something that I like, it definitely has to be something that the customer likes. My whole thing with painting helmets, I don't want to paint a lot of helmets. I want to paint high quality helmets. I want to do a better job. I really try to make everything flawless. When you paint a helmet, I think half of the art is actually figuring out the order in which you're going to do colors. You really have to strategize how you're going to paint this thing. A lot of people will actually use stickers on the helmet and clear coat over it. And if they're only painting the helmet for a few $100 for whoever, I can understand that because it is obviously a lot quicker, cheaper, easier to do. But for me, again, trying to push the quality of what I'm doing, I just feel that using stickers on helmets isn't really conducive to having a really high quality product. It takes a little more time to do it that way, but that's why I'm here. For inspiration, honestly, I don't really look at any of the other painters at all. I think that as a designer or an artist, you need to draw inspiration from everything in this world, not just what your competition is doing. That's more organic in your growth as a designer, because there's tons of things out there that you could draw inspiration from, and if you're ignoring those things, I think that's kind of a waste. You have to evolve yourself constantly, otherwise you get left in the dust. If you're continually doing the same thing over and over again, it's going to become irrelevant. When I see my work out in the wild, honestly, I love it. It's very gratifying. To me, the whole point of having your painted helmet is that it's your identity. It's nice to hear when people really appreciate what they get, and it's nice when you get those kind of customers that understand how much work it is. The thing that I'm looking for personally to get out of this business is just happiness, honestly, and freedom. I just want to grow the business to be something amazing that, you know, people love and people look at as a company that is a pioneer and a groundbreaker and a trendsetter. I strive for perfection, so that's what keeps me driving forward. When somebody sees one of my designs, I want them to be inspired. That's payment, you know, in itself. I mean, that's something that's really special because you can't put a price on that. If you're not speaking up and having a voice as to how you feel the world should be or things around you should be, I mean, you know, what's the point?